Hi guys, so I know it's a couple of weeks since you've seen me do a video. I'll chat to you about that in a minute, but just give you a quick run through of the job that we've got going on in the background. Now, this is a Vauxhall Vivaro. Decided to use the new OBS for this for base coat. I've been testing this out ahead of doing the review, which I have got planned and is pretty much all edited up. I just need to do a little bit of fine tuning on that before I get that up for you guys. But basically this was a new wing, a little bit damage to the door, and then some little cheeky blends on the blend areas. Now I'm using the Capsy base coat and 60-30 clear. I'm going for 2 full wet coats and then 2 drop coats just to make sure everything's even, because it's quite an odd colour. First coats are going on at 25 psi and then the drop coats are going on at 20 psi. I'm running this full fluid, full fan, same as I do the rest of the guns. You'll notice that when I get around to the blend sections, I've got a little bit of the J-tape no blend edge tape around them. Some little cheeky blends just to try and help this colour, because it is quite an awkward colour, match in that a little bit better. So for the last month, obviously I've not been online. I've not been doing anything on Instagram or on Facebook, or obviously my main platform, which is YouTube. Now I know I got a few emails from people that, what's the best way of putting it, who were a bit pissy about that because the channel members, and I'd say that I understand that, but at the end of the day, YouTube for me is not a full-time priority. Sometimes life and health etc gets in the way, and the reason that I've taken a break is for sort of like for mental health reasons really. So some of you know, some of you don't know, late in 2019 I went through some, shall we say, sort of rather large, not so fun events in my life, which had a huge impact on my mental health. At the time, I didn't think it was too bad. It wasn't until sort of January of 2019 that it started really affecting me, and to the point where I went up to a member of my family and said I wanted out of life. I had had enough. Now, I'd been bottling this up at this point for probably like 4 months, thinking, as us men do, that I will deal with it, and you know, you're a man, so you're strong, so you deal with these things and you don't talk to people. It took me literally being that open and honest with a member of my family to give me the nudge that I needed. Now, one of my mates, a very good friend of mine, had been helping me through this, you know, and chatting to me and helping me get in the gym and everything, sort of helping me feel better at the time, but it wasn't enough. And by the time of January came, I just had enough. Not a great subject, but sometimes, you know, unfortunately, your brain's a very powerful thing at times. Now, not long after, obviously I got some help. I went to the doctors, spoke to them, and they diagnosed me with PTSD. Now, at the time, that was quite difficult to deal with. I was having a lot of flashbacks. I suffered with massive anxiety. Like when I was in the house, I didn't want to be in the house. When I was out of the house, I didn't want to be out of the house. It was not great, to put it mildly. But I sought the help that I needed. I went through counselling. I went private for my counselling at the time because the NHS was like a 6 to 9 month waiting time, which at the time, once I'd realised how bad things were for me, I didn't think that was a good thing to wait for. So I ended up going private with someone local, and that really, really helped. But what helped the most was actually just getting it off my chest that I felt that way, and starting to deal with the issues of why I felt that way and the things that had happened. Now, I'm not saying this to you guys for sympathy or anything like that. It's literally just to explain, you know, part of my story that a lot of you guys don't see, and a lot of you guys don't think either. Obviously, with me doing YouTube and everything, people think that, you know, I'm a very sort of outgoing person. I'm not. I like to keep myself to myself quite a lot. The last few weeks, sort of like 6-7 weeks, I've been really struggling. So I've been basically not posting, not recording, just the day-to-day doing normal things has been extremely hard to do. Now, in 2019, I went through my counselling. I sort of dealt with the issues that caused the PTSD, and since I've not had any issues, so to speak, with the PTSD side of things. I sometimes get flashbacks, but it's normally something big that will trigger that off, and knowing what will trigger it has helped me to stay away from the things that will trigger it. And ever since, I've had to deal with sort of severe anxiety, which is an on and off thing. It's not there all day, every day. I can have like 3 great days, and then on the 4th day, when everything's going fine and I'm at work, my head just absolutely takes over and I'm a wreck for the rest of the day. And I struggle just to do the day-to-day tasks and just keep my mind focused on what I'm doing. Normally, as daft as this is, spraying is the one thing that normally settles me down. If I can get in the booth and put my earpods in, just get on painting a car, then I tend to find that I relax, because my mind's so tied up with the job that I'm doing and just concentrating on what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about all the things that my head's trying to fire up at me. Now, for some reason, and I think it's just coming towards, well, at the time of doing this, to be fair, we're about bang on pretty much 3 years since it all first happened and what kicked off my PTSD. So recently, the PTSD side of things has been extremely difficult to deal with. It's just flared up out of nowhere, and it's kind of had me on my ass for a few weeks, would be the best way of putting it. It's been really difficult to deal with. I've not really been speaking to many people. I've just been trying to get in, do my work, and get home, and just trying to do my best to relax. Mick that I work with, he's encouraged me to get back in the gym, which helps me keep my mind focused on something, and just basically not riding it out, but just dealing with this little relapse of the PTSD side of things, which I've never had since I first got diagnosed. So it's been a long few weeks, but I am okay. We'll be making videos again from this week, as I am pretty much back to normal now and almost fully settled. There's been quite a lot of you guys that have messaged me, especially after I mentioned about this in a Facebook post. I think it was last week, the week before, because someone had asked where I was, and I mentioned this, and a lot of people reached out to me at the time to say, like, hope I'm okay, etc., etc. There's no risk of, sort of any injury or any harm or me not being okay. It's just taken me a lot longer than I thought to sort of get my head back in the right sort of mind space to be doing videos and putting myself out there again, because it is something that for me is tough. But also, when I put that post out, a lot of people reached out to me to say that they also have issues and they also suffer, and they thought they were alone in that. And 1 or 2 people mentioned that maybe if I wanted to mention about it in this video, or when I put a video up soon, which is why I've kind of done this video today. Now, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. You might be sat there thinking that you don't care and you want to watch me painting that car, and that is absolutely fine. If you want to mute me and watch me paint this car, then go ahead. It doesn't really bother me. It's more for the 1 or 2 people out there that may be in the position that I was back then, thinking that there was no end to it, and the only end to it was an easy way out, that you've got no one to help, or that you've got no one to talk to. It was a family member and one of my best mates that helped me. If you haven't got anyone there, speak to a professional, or even drop me a message in my inbox on Instagram or on Facebook, and I will have a chat with you. If you are struggling with something, it's not easy as a man. We're kind of like told to bottle things up, and if you cry, you're weak. If you show any emotions or anything like that, there's kind of a stigma around men's mental health, which is why originally when I got ill, I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I didn't really want to seem that weak person that couldn't cope anymore. But at the same time, the highest rates of suicide and harm from mental health is in men. So if you are one of those people that reached out to me to say that you were struggling. I will never mention your name. Anything that you do say to me is confidential. Same as, you know, anyone who's reached out to me in the past, or if anyone wanted to reach out from this video, you know, if you've got no one to talk to, drop me an inbox. I will speak to you. I will have a chat with you. Sometimes just having that ear of someone to speak to, whether it's just to chat crap for 5 minutes, or you want to offload some of what is bothering you, or you want some advice from somebody who has been in a similar situation, then I will happily spend time on the phone with you. If it means that a month, you know, a week from now, you're popping up on another video, putting a comment on it, and not for the comment, just so that we know that you are okay and that you are moving forward. It is tough. It's a long road. It took me probably got 12-18 months to get over what I was going through originally. It took a lot. It's kind of, as that kind of corny saying goes, you know, I kind of lost a lot of the person that I was, and I never really feel like I've got back to that same person. But at the same time, you know, when it's come down to this little bit of a relapse that I've had recently, where I've really struggled, I know I've been through worse, so I know I can deal with it. But still, I know now as well that there is no problem with picking up the phone or WhatsApping a friend and just saying, look, dude, can we have a chat, or can I go for a beer, you know, because I just need to clear my head for a night. There's no issue with it. And anybody who has been in a similar situation or knows what it feels will not judge you at all. Same as if you message me, you might think it's something small, or think it's something stupid, and that you shouldn't be talking to somebody about it. Honestly, if you are feeling sort of that down or that low, or, you know, you have uncontrollable anxiety or anything like that, just, you need to speak to somebody. So that is why I've made this video and put it out there, what I struggle with. I'm not going to say why or what happened, because I don't think that's really anyone's business, but I do struggle a lot, week to week. It's not something that really ever goes away, but at the same time, if one person sees this and it encourages you to get some help, or you know somebody who is struggling, you know, like you see these daft TikToks when you ask somebody how they're feeling and they just say, I'm okay. Chances are, if they just say that I'm okay, they're not. You know, they're just trying to get through a day. So if you've got a friend that you know is a bit down, or a family member, anybody like that, pick up the phone, just send them a text, you know, hey, how you doing? How's things today? What you been up to? Just, you know, reach out to somebody. And the same if you feel like you are going through something, just reach out to somebody and just start a conversation. And if you want to get it off your chest, just say, look, no, I'm not feeling okay. I'm feeling crap, you know, and I need someone to speak to. So that's going to be it for this week's video, guys. I know it's been a little bit different, but I just wanted to get that out there for you guys, so you know where I've been, and also in the hope that it will go to help somebody else. So I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.